Guess I play semi-pro, right?
No, man, you worse. You Sunday league.
Hello, and welcome to the Sunday League Podcast, your home for all things MLB and Fantasy Baseball. We are back.
The pain.
A little 2-week
The
hiatus.
Lord is risen.
We were,
he is risen. Hashtag he is risen.
We were thinking about recording a podcast during draft weekend. Didn't happen. I think we all forgot about it until Sunday, and it was like, well, too late. And then Easter Sunday, spent time with the fams. And just hung out. So we're back. We're live. We're a week and a half roughly into the MLB season. So we got a good bit to talk about. But before we get to that, gentlemen, how we doing?
I'm doing terrible.
Cale, why don't you tell us about your fantasy baseball team?
Yeah, the draft was the worst night of my life. The third round, literally, I had about 15 guys that I'd be fine with picking 1, 2, and 3. All of them were taken in the third round. Because I wanted Spencer Strider in third round, but I got him in second.
Yeah, he's good.
Kyle Tucker was fine. And then literally the whole entire third round was every one of my guys. So that was fun. So I ended up with Rafael Devers, who got pinch hit today. Ibanaga, yeah, you're not going to pitch after 4 innings because the Lord hates me. It's fine. Casey said, screw you, fatty. I'm taking away your one strength. I'm taking away your strikeouts.
Yeah,
let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Ready for
Casey, tell us what you did. Casey, tell us what you did.
I did nothing
Own up to it.
wrong. I did nothing wrong.
Scam artist right now.
Here we go again.
Who's
So
this,
allegedly,
is this Nixon?
Fantasy Gate?
I forgot to put one more point for strikeouts. So our strikeouts are just 1 point. Where in the past couple of years they were 2 points, I guess.
There were 3 2 years ago.
Yeah. And then we learned our lesson. So the whole reason why we try to dumb down the pitchers this year is so James wouldn't win, to be honest. And yeah, so I forgot to add a point. However, so I will own up to that. However, draft night, what does a great commissioner do? He sits everybody down. I go point by point, category by category, lay out the point system for everybody, lay out the roster positions for everybody. So it's a democracy rather than a dictatorship.
Hitler.
And I say, guys, is this how you want the league to be looking like this year?
We thought the only change was earn run.
I couldn't even pay attention to that conversation you just had. How do you expect me to sit there for 20 minutes and pay attention to you?
That's what I heard was nothing.
You did say the only change that we made from last year was earn run.
Thank you.
I do remember that.
So all of us checked out except for earn runs.
I said that 2 seconds before the first pick was made to Chance, who was not on the trip with us. So
we would have called it though.
Yeah, we would have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, y'all could have fact checked me. You know, that's why
I trusted you.
Listen, here's
trusted you since day one.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's just a little fishy that strikeouts get demoted and Casey picks one of the most hitter-heavy lineups in the league.
That is true.
Doesn't really go after pitching.
This is true.
Gets one big guy. Everyone else is injured until the All-Star break. Like, seems a little fishy for me.
The one year I draft pitchers. Whatever. Our team sucks.
Strategy, baby. I did not
corruption
have faith. I did not have faith in the pitchers this year because I was too worried.
Because you knew
scared,
the points.
man.
Because you knew strikeouts didn't matter.
I knew that the earned runs being -2, I was scared. So that's why, honestly, I didn't go for pitchers, and I went hitter heavy. And then 3 days into the season, I get a text from James. Hey, are you sure You got these points right?
Nope.
What are you talking about? It just seems like the strikeouts were more last
Yeah,
year.
Spencer Strider got 12 strikeouts and only got like four points.
Yeah,
He got a handshake.
No, he can't even do a handshake now because he can't even lift his arm.
It'll be fine. It'll buff out.
But,
oh my god.
We're off to a great start in the Sunday League. You know,
Great start,
it's always
Sunday League.
something. We can never get the
Always.
point system right. We can never get the point system right.
One thing
We're
we did get
always
right
thinking
was
something.
making sure everybody fills out their entire roster this year.
Yes.
So far, allegedly.
We're in.
So let's start looking at the positives. Yeah, let's start looking at the positives rather than
Kale's
looking
coming
at the
last.
negatives.
That's fun.
Kale's
Yeah,
running a
how about-
marathon.
Yeah, how about we talk about
Kale's
the
not going
punishment
to be
for
here
Cale?
next year.
Kale's running a marathon.
So we have decided.
Have
have
we
decided-
officially?
Well, that's
Yeah,
if Cale
everybody thought it was
loses.
effing hilarious.
That's if Cale
Oh,
loses.
Kale, huh? Yeah. Oh, if Kale loses, we kill him.
Put him out of his
Well,
misery.
Not necessarily.
Nothing's set in
we've
stone yet.
Yeah. No, it's set in stone. If Cale
It
loses, he's running a marathon. Yes.
No, if anybody
Now-
loses, anybody's running a
Yeah, I'm
marathon.
saying if anyone loses, they run a marathon.
Dear Lord, I hope I don't come last.
That's what I
Exactly.
mean. That's why it's a punishment.
I guess.
Maybe
I
half.
guess.
I mean, we
Yeah,
need
only
to
when
decide
Cale has
that
to do it.
now, because Kale still has to
Everybody-
do the punishment for fantasy football.
Yeah.
How
hasn't
about
done
Cale? You have to run a marathon in a
That's
woman's
what we said.
in a woman's golf outfit.
Nope.
No, you can't add
He
on.
still
to
has to
that.
run a marathon.
You
Why
can't.
not?
That's rough.
It's they're gonna think I'm a real female these days.
You
Fair
either
enough.
got to
I'm
play
still gonna lose.
because I think we're between both of those. To where it's play golf in a dress or run a marathon. I think those are our top two.
I think
I think
playing
you just
golf
gotta
in the
decide
dress is a good one.
Now I'll do that. I'll do that any day of the week. Sign me up.
Well,
If you
Alright,
make me run a
do it tomorrow.
marathon,
yeah, it was like,
if you make me do that, if I lose, I have to. At least I make dresses my size.
do they?
You can't make a marathon my size.
I mean, you could walk the marathon. It just may be
Mm-mm.
a
I'll go out
day.
dying before I do. David Goggins.
Who's gonna carry the boats?
Who's gonna carry the
And
boats?
hogs?
I'm just gonna listen to him and sketch the whole time.
They don't know me.
Little man.
Thank
Have
you,
little
brother.
man going.
Thank you, brother.
Safe.
So much fight. So much fight.
Yeah.
But no, there is a
No,
punishment.
my
this
team's
year.
not
We
terrible.
gotta
It's just
decide.
it's going to be a long season for me.
Yeah.
Hey,
You've had some
it is a
injuries
long season,
already.
so.
It is.
Yeah. My entire team.
Don't
Even
win a
my NA
championship in
spot.
week 1.
That's
Try to
true.
tell yourself.
But you can dang lose it.
Casey was 5-0 last year and got 4th place. So
Well, he already got that
Never
trade
know.
out of the way with me.
7-0.
you were
But-
you weren't 7-0 last year.
He was.
You were 7-0.
He was 5 or. Yeah, he may have
Pretty
been.
sure it was 5, and then he lost like 6 straight.
It
I
doesn't
think he-
matter. Potato, potato.
Yeah,
Either way.
he didn't win.
Let's not live in the past.
I'm gonna
Let's look
lose
at
this week.
year.
Yeah. I'm going to lose this
Just-
week, too. I mean,
Yeah,
So-
I just saw Tuve struck out Case.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
So-
Evan Carter just got freaking set down as well.
he's getting demoted. Getting
Well, at least I got
demoted
an
to
NA spot now.
But since we're talking about fighting in the league and stuff, how about we talk about the benches clearing fight
Yeah. Jeff McNeil's
between the Jeff McNeil of the Mets and Rhys
Okay.
Hoskins of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Jeff McNeil.
so-
I mean,
Let's hear from the NL East fans out there. Obviously, y'all three.
Okay.
What is y'all's take first and foremost of Jeff McNeil and Rhys Hoskins? Who was right? Who was wrong? Was any of them right? Was both of them wrong?
I'll
Clean
start,
slide.
but I don't think it was a clean slide, but I think
Clean slide.
it's part of the game. I mean, he's not. I mean, yeah, it was dirty, but I mean, it's part of the game. He's trying to break up a double play. I mean, even I think when I look back at videos, Jeff McNeil never did. He always like, oh, got out of the way. Oh, I'm gonna
whole
let him
Mets
turn
team
a double
does.
play. Bro, if you're a competitor and you want to break up the double play, I'm sliding into the base, dirty or not. And I think the way Jeff McNeil handled it was a little over the top. Like, but in my opinion, I see it as not a dirty slide. And the way Rhys Hoskins handled it, he was out, he walked up the field, and it was done. I think Jeff McNeil made it something that it wasn't, and that's why the bench is cleared when they threw at him.
Yeah.
In the 7th inning.
That's true.
After
the
he
next
already
at
had,
bat. Yeah.
after he already had like a nuke and went off that day too.
Yeah.
But
no, it was a clean start. Listen, I'm all for like keeping the game safe, right? So, for example, Chase Utley sliding in to the shortstop for the Mets a couple years ago in the World Series.
Ruben.
Completely dirty. That's like, because he didn't even slide. Rhys Hoskins started sliding before he got to the bag. Because how many times do you see a guy like do a pop-up slide, right? Where they slide late and then, like, I mean, he started sliding before he got to the bag. Completely. This is what ticks me off. Is middle infielders think they can do whatever they want to. They just, I mean, they can pull out a folding chair and sit on second base if they want to. No, be an athlete. Get off the bag and make a play.
Yep.
And as far as the game, like the whole Mets team just ticks me off. Francisco Lindor, I'm a huge fan of. Like, I think he plays the game right now. He's trash right now. Yeah, absolute dog water right now. But that's only because he's on my team. If I traded him, he'd win in an MVP.
Hey, I'll send you trade right now.
I'll take it. Yeah.
But
trade for Bochet?
Not a chance. But yeah, it was just Jeff McNeil. That whole Mets team is just a bunch of crybabies. Throw it again.
Okay.
I don't care.
They did throw it again.
They did.
I think it's more, honestly, the slide, he slid into the bag. Yes, he went over the bag a little bit, but honestly, I think it's more on McNeil because, like, Cale, you were kind of saying it, but, like, he literally just stood on the bag.
Yep.
And took it. Like, Casey, you're a second baseman. You know when you take a double play, you either come through the bag or you take a step back and throw the ball to first. My man literally was just sitting on second base. So what do you expect to happen? Like,
yep,
right.
I'm not a big fan of Jeff McNeil. I watched the game last year. The Mets were at Milwaukee, and he tried to make a sliding play in the 4-hole or whatever. Tried to make a sliding play, but like his knee was too low. And so his knee just went into the ground instead of sliding. And then he pops up and throws his glove, starts crying and saying, "This field is so garbage, blah, 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 blah." And looking at the grounds crew and just cussing them out for how bad the field was when my man's, he was trying to slide with his leg literally like this. No wonder it dug in the field because you're sliding wrong, brother. So he just, I don't know. He's got a very punchable face, I'll say.
Thank you, brother.
Punchable face, brother. Well said.
One man army, Kim Jong-un.
I'm a real athlete. But
you're an e-boy.
Yeah, I thought it was just blown out of proportion. Even I loved Rhys Hoskins' interview afterward because he was like, "Dude, this guy's been doing this crap since I was in Philly." And he's like, he's just a little crybaby about every little thing, and he's not going to change. And so I thought that was hilarious. Yeah.
That's just baseball nowadays. We're just soft.
Yeah.
Just soft.
That is very true. It's a different league.
I was going to say, as I was actually watching baseball, it was like MLB tonight, with my mom the other night, and she was like, "Man, who's this guy? Who's this guy?" And most people might say, well, it's a mom, like she doesn't really watch baseball or anything like that. My mom is always. I grew up MLB on.
Shout out Dana.
Every single night, every single
Love
day.
you, Dana.
And speaking to your point, James, the game has changed so much. We're kind of it's sad to kind of see that guys that we watched growing up have kind of already started rolling out, and all these guys, like these, not even just prospects, obviously, but just players. Like, for instance, I was watching the Nationals. That's actually the game that I was watching. Is the Nationals? They have like 9 guys that almost you've never even heard of,
Yep.
And that's how even like the A's and these other teams that are just not that great, obviously. But even some guys, coming off the bench on these stud teams, you're like, man, I've never heard of those guys. But yeah, the game's just growing, the game's changing. Yeah, that's all I want to say.
Yeah, I think we're just in the end of a generation.
Yeah.
It's just it's the passing of the baton. But
Yeah.
it is kind of sad to see kind of all the guys like Pujols, Cabrera, the guys we grew up being studs.
Watching.
Like
No.
the last 2-3 years have been kind of mediocre at best. But I think baseball's in good hands. I think we're going in a good direction for the most part. There's some things about the game that nowadays I don't love, but I think talent's getting better. The game is growing overall. Like I think more people are watching baseball these days. So I think the league as a whole is more competitive.
Oh no,
this year for
6'7" playing shortstop.
Yeah. That's nuts.
That point.
I love it though. I love the athleticism that we're seeing these days. I feel like we lost it in the last generation. It kind of got into like the big just boomers. But now you're kind of seeing the
Strange
jack of all trades. Yeah, but he was never a stud, But you're seeing the guys that aren't just big boppers, get a chance in the league,
So you're saying you hate fat people? I get it.
Nope. I'm just saying that I didn't get a fair shot,
No, you're telling me.
Didn't we all?
But speaking of the game growing, speaking of the game changing, I feel like now we are seeing a high rate of injuries as well.
Pitch clock.
Higher rate than we've ever seen, and probably the history of baseball. You can argue. And I want to hear y'all's thoughts I have my own thoughts of why, especially we're seeing pitchers injuries and everything like that. But even just guys in the field, I mean, Royce Lewis. Let's talk about Royce Lewis. Man is made of glass. It seems like not just pitchers, but guys that just can't seem to stay healthy. And what do you think it is?
Yeah, I'll go. I mean, just for Royce Lewis, I think he's just someone that can never stay healthy. I don't know if it's just for him playing consistently because he got injured. Game 3?
So game one.
Oh, it was game 1.
Oh, no.
It was opening day. Yeah,
his start at bat.
Jeez, I think it's just for him.
It's round or something.
Maybe being just too aggressive because even just come around the base, he's trying to do too much. Maybe on opening day, I don't know. But Royce Lewis, like you said, Case, he's made of glass. He always tends to get hurt. That's what he's known for. But I think from a pitching perspective, I don't want to say it, but it could be that they're dumbing down on sticky stuff. They're dumbing down the rosin. It could be pitchers using sticky stuff, then not using sticky stuff to where they have a good grip of the ball. Next start, it's like butter. Time clock, I guess, where it's constant throw. They're not getting the rest they need in between pitches. I mean, it's like Casey said, it's changed from years of the past till now when they made those changes. So it's good to point fingers that those could be the causes, in my opinion.
I second that. I think the pitch clock has a lot to do with it. I don't think, obviously, we all know this, but the motion of your arm throwing a baseball is not the natural motion of your arm. Softball and throwing it underhand is the natural motion. So obviously, your arm is under more stress in just the way that those athletes throw. Yeah, in general. James, I really think the pitch clock and everything has a major side effect into it, obviously. Not giving the arm enough time to, recover in between pitches and everything like that. Also, guys are giving 110% from pitch one. I don't think we're really seeing a lot of guys, just ease their way into it and everything like that. They're told, give me 4 or 5 strong innings of your best and I'll get you out of there. So they're going hard from pitch one. I think that's the change. But me personally, I think it's the off-season training. I don't want to point fingers at like these big companies of Driveline and everything like that, because I've heard great things come from those companies and those partnerships and everything like that. But when I watch videos of the trainings and everything, it just seems like there's so much stress. They focus so much on just throwing the ball harder, throwing it harder. and rather than what's the best mechanics for yourself to prevent injury. I do feel like they obviously work on mechanics, but the mechanics of how to throw harder, how to be stronger, rather than what's the proper mechanics of staying healthy. And Thomas, I think you use this quote a lot of just the best, you know what it is, the best
ability is availability.
There you go. I knew you knew it. So,
No,
but yeah.
sure.
And another thing to bounce off, I think this might be the first year where we have like 20 plus pitchers that start the season on the IL, to where, like you said, Case, they're trying to throw harder in the offseason, get ready for opening day, but you're having 20 plus pitchers start the season on the IL because maybe if they're training leading up to the season or just overusing your arm. I mean, it's being crazy on how many people are getting injured with UCL injuries and everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you all think? Yeah, sorry. I was just going to ask the question of, do you think guys are a little bit softer in a way of, for instance, like these guys back in the 80s, they could have had the same injuries, but they just
drink a fifth of Jim Beam, you're fine.
Yeah. You think that's what it is, Cale? You think guys are just a little bit softer?
I will say, I think, to joke a little bit, but I mean, I think about, you can't pull fat. Like, because I think about Bartolo Colon. Like, I mean, he very rarely got injured.
Yeah.
He also did throw 102.
But that's my point, though, is like, he didn't have to.
He did when he came on.
Pitched 20 plus seasons in the league.
Yeah.
Like, and for years I thought it was like, well, they're just teaching velocity and not teaching mechanics. But then you watch Jacob deGrom pitch. That dude's mechanics are impeccable. I mean, he has a perfect throwing motion, and he gets hurt every 3 days. So, I mean, like, the human body is not meant to be put through, like Casey said, is not meant to be put through that much stress, that much. Like, human body was made perfectly, and God, everything's perfect. But there's limitations to a human body. And I think a lot of it is because with and I won't say stick, because it got out of control with the tiger tack or whatever it's called. Spider tack. Like, it got out of control, but they can't use any, like, Max Scherzer got thrown out for using sweat and rosin last year.
Oh, that was
I mean, you can't use anything nowadays.
Sunscreen.
And so, like, I never used anything, but, like, also in high school, like, you have the high seams and stuff, so it's a lot easier. But, like, I was a sweater. I mean, and there's some guys, especially out of the bullpen, they're coming in drenched, and you're expecting them to throw a baseball 102 miles an hour. One that puts the batter, and I'd rather you have a little bit. Oh, shout out to the AI
emoji.
Yeah, I'd rather you have a little bit of, like, say rosin and sweat and have more control than throw a ball at my head 102 miles an hour. Like, and like I said, it got out of control. I understand that. Like, I don't think, because, I mean, John Means was best pitcher in the league, but I think it was a lot of it was due to spider tack.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like everything, we just take things and ruin it. But I think there's a lot to do with it. I mean, like you said, with training, because yes, baseball players need a little bit of weight training, but honestly, not much. I mean, get them the like, if everybody did the TB12, I don't think there'd be as many injuries, because it's just bands, plyometrics, whatever that stuff. Technique, all that stuff. But we're like, oh, I want to squat, and honestly, I don't think that's it, because you see, what's those two guys that we can't stand, Casey? The Bat
Tommy
Boys
Pham?
or whatever.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
The guys that do the interviews.
Like,
like, what's your max bench? Like, I go back to opinion. He's like, dude, I haven't benched in 5 years. So, and I mean, he's one of the best players in the world. So I just think, I think it's a ton of things that are culminating into one.
Yeah.
I think it's all the things that we've said. I think all of it has something to do with it.
Yeah.
But again, you can't pull fat.
That's true.
To tie it all together.
Yeah.
Sum it up.
Can't pull fat.
Here's what I think. Because I think position players and pitchers are two different ends of the spectrum when it comes to injuries, in my opinion. Like, hitters usually get hurt. The most injuries typically happen running the bases or fielding because they're running, they're going at full speed. I mean, you look at, but if you look at like Aaron Judge last year, Jazz Chisholm, Acuna when he tore his ACL, like they're playing the field, they're not in their swing. They're usually not getting hurt. Like you might get the random Giancarlo Stanton breaking his hand in a swing, but I think for hitters, in my opinion, I think it's more genetics, like things like guys like Byron Buxton, Mike Trout, Royce Lewis, who are consistently getting hurt. Like those are things that are, maybe you just got weak ligaments, maybe you just got weak muscles, maybe you didn't drink enough milk growing up type thing. But for pitchers, especially starting pitchers, in my opinion, this is just something I've been thinking about recently, is like how much training in the off season is going towards endurance. Like if you look at runners, if you look at a sprinter, he's not training the same as a guy who's running long distances. Or for me, like I was a swimmer in high school and college. Like when I was racing the short race, I'm going much faster than I am if I'm doing a long distance. So in my opinion, I think pitchers are doing way too much to focus on velocity during the off season rather than building themselves up to be able to go 6-7 innings. So they're going in there trying to throw 100. They're building that up, that strength up, but they're not building the endurance of their muscles up, and that's when things happen. So that's just something that I think of because, they come into spring training, haven't thrown more than 20 pitches in a bullpen all off season. Yeah, of course you're not going to be able to go 6 innings without getting hurt. So, because 6 to 8 weeks of spring training isn't enough to build up that endurance. That's my take. So
no. I agree.
I feel like there's not enough, because I'm not a huge fan of him, but Trevor Bauer, for years, he was a huge component of long toss.
Yep.
And I feel like nobody does long toss anymore.
Nope.
That's a good point.
It's just straight to the point.
At least to the extent
it's just training. And too, because I was thinking about this while you're talking, Thomas, of the injuries used to be, you'd see a hamstring every now and then, but it was usually freak accident. Like a couple years ago, Freddie Freeman got hit in the wrist and broke his hamate bone. Like the bones would break because of freak accidents.
Yeah.
Now I feel like every time it's a soft tissue muscle.
It's like, oh, my toe.
And I don't think you can, I don't know what you can
I think
unless
stretching.
you're Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I don't unless you're, because even Aaron Rodgers, he does a bunch of crazy stuff, but he's still towards Achilles. I know that's football, but I'm just trying to think of stuff like that. I don't think you can train that stuff, and I don't think again, going back to throwing hard, I think we're asking these players, going back to athleticism. Yes, athleticism is great, but you can't do but so much. Because even back in the day, Ken Griffey Jr., he couldn't stay healthy because he'd go 110% into a wall. And I love that. I love a player that does that. But at the end of the day, like Tom said, the best ability is availability. Yeah. So maybe because dude, who was it the other day? Oh, I can't remember. He literally jogged a triple.
Byron Buxton.
It was Byron Buxton.
Yeah.
Dude, just go. His 70% is
most people's.
It looks better than most people's.
It looks smooth.
115%.
Yeah.
Just stride it out. Stride it out.
No,
I don't know.
I think some players do have to do that. I agree with you. To where, Byron Buxton and Royce Lewis is just people we're thinking of now. But it could be just of them not stretching and them just putting too much into it and their body just can't handle it. And then pop, hamstring, something goes wrong and you're out for an extended period of time. Yeah. So it could just be, like you said, off of genetics or just not stretching, going from 0 to 100 like that to where you're putting too much stress on your arm, on your leg, and it's just IL.
Yeah. I think a lot. Yeah, I think this generation, honestly, I know it's our generation, is lazy. We honestly really are lazy.
It is.
And in a way of, we don't want to put in that extra effort to, get, not get stronger, but, stay healthier. You know, it could be a diet. You know, it could be whatever. It could be these guys. I can say to your point, James, of especially like let's say a guy like Acuna or Soto. You know, guys that are still pretty young, or even a Royce Lewis. Yeah, he's not too young. He's 27, I believe, somewhere around there. But I can see guys like that, you know, saying, you know what, I feel good today. Let me just wake up. Let's just kind of show and go kind of thing, you know. They might do a couple here and there stretches and stuff and do like the line drills and everything, but it's not really intense, you know. And I feel like guys that have injury history need to take it to that next level. And I mean, I don't know what their off-season workouts are. I don't know what their daily workouts are. I could be totally wrong about it, but I don't know.
No,
I could see.
I think you're onto something because I'll see so I've got stenosis spine and I have 2 stress fractures in my spine, but there was nothing I could do to strengthen my spine. So I had to strengthen my core. So I've always had a strong core to try to protect my back. Like I feel like there's the training. Going back to the training, is so specialized in like certain areas where it's not.
Yep.
Because dude, people back in the 1920s were just cutting down trees. Like, you know, that was their workouts. Like, and it sounds, but like that's using everything. That's using your core, your arms. Like that uses your whole body instead of being specialized into, hey, we're gonna do freaking split squats or whatever they're called.
It's like punching a bag.
Yeah. Like, I mean, just using whole body
everything.
and stuff like that. And I do think a lot of it is diet, but that's kind of changed in the league now, especially. But
it's interchangeable.
Listen to Ocho Cinco. He ate McDonald's every day of the year.
He did, dude.
I don't blame him.
I mean, thinking about what you guys said, even as an example, I thought of him as Carlos Rodon. The dude was probably the most dominant pitchers in the year. What, a couple years ago?
For like
went
2-3
to the Yankees,
years.
Went to the Yankees, cut his beard off, put on like 40, 50 pounds, and now look at him. To where it looks like he's being lazy.
Went from being a country boy to going out to San Francisco and becoming a city slick with all these smart people. Now he's in New York. God help him.
God's probably the only one that can help him.
I mean, he was from Holly Springs, so he wasn't really a country boy, but you know,
better than San Francisco. Jack,
that's
private Christian school.
I went to Hunt High School in Wilson, North Carolina. So what about the Oakland Athletics? No longer the Oakland Athletics.
The Sacramento Athletics?
They're going no city.
The A's, yeah.
They're just the Athletics.
Oh, they're the opposite of the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What's worse? Washington football team or just the A's situation?
Because of the situation, I'm a Redskins fan, and I don't care if I get canceled. I'll call them that to the day I die.
I think the Guardians.
But
at least they have a city. At least they have a home.
They both are just trash, and it's all because one of them is just the masses saying, "Oh, that's racist. Oh, that's yada yada," and you cower to them. And the other one is, "Oh, I don't want to pay more than $12.50 for this player." Like it's ownership's being terrible, and then it's just cowering down to the masses. They're both trash examples, but like. Just sell it. Like if you don't want to, like, why would you? You can't make that much money being an Oakland Athletics owner right now.
No,
just sell the team. Like you clearly don't care about anything in your life except for yourself. So just sell the team.
No, I agree.
I love the quote that he said in Sacramento at that field when he was talking about how the field is going to be so intimate, you know, it's going to be an intimate setting for the fans and everything like that. He said, I can't wait to see superstars like Aaron Judge hit home runs here. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, they are the legit major league movie in real life.
No, yes.
Like, it is ridiculous how identical it is.
But it's bad. It's honestly a joke.
It's a horrible look.
Because I was even watching some of their games. I don't know why I was doing it, but I think because Tanner was pitching against them. But dude, I think they had more. I think I saw a stat was they had more errors than runs scored.
Yeah,
it's awful. Like,
but they still have more wins than the Marlins.
Well,
beat Jack Flaherty today.
That's true.
Waxed his ass.
They did. I'm change the subject. I'm not talking about the Marlins.
Yeah. They don't invest in players. They don't invest in coaching. They do nothing to make their team good or competitive, there's no wonder no one's in the stands.
Yeah.
Like, no one's. I would not go pay money to watch a high school baseball team play in the MLB. Like that's the skill level that they're playing at.
Because did I see where they raised?
Wow.
Well, the thing,
It's bad.
and to his point, is did I see where they raised their ticket prices this year?
Oh,
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah.
That
What,
might
from
just
20
be Joe
cents to
Biden's
30
fault,
cents.
Athletics ticket prices.
Everybody's just buying them on TickPick for $1 every night.
Right before the game. Oh, they dropped 90 cents. All right, bet.
Game time.
Oh, 10 tickets for $1? Deal. Did y'all see the they're giving away like replica stadiums at the last game at the Coliseum?
The Coliseum.
They're giving away like little replica stadiums at the
That's
last
pretty
game.
cool. That's kind of
It
cool.
is
We
kinda
gotta go to
cool,
that
but-
game. Yeah, let's go to that game.
Woof.
Hey,
Not
do
good.
we need to make a trip out there before
We're
the
gonna
last?
make it out.
Dude, they're $21 right now. I'll go right now.
I'd say.
Granted, they were playing the Nationals, so that'd be a heck of a game. Might be
Better
two
than the
no-hitters.
Marlins.
Hey. I'm
True.
again.
Let's speak of the Marlins.
No.
What's the problem with the Marlins?
James, what's
They
going on?
fired Kim Ung, or whatever his last name is.
Is it
Kim Jong-un?
is it the pitching? Is it the hitting? I haven't done any research on them, honestly.
It's just it's honestly
It's
the relief.
freaking AJ Puck giving up 13 and a half points to my. I pick him up, believing in a lefty, negative 13 and a half points.
Quiet down.
Well, that's her fault.
That's your
Honestly,
problem with your bias.
It's the pitching. I mean, because we had a stellar pitching staff, a lot of injuries. We lost Yuri, we lost Sandy, Sixto's in the bullpen. Max Meyer is probably our ace right now. Lazardo is not into form
Hasn't
yet.
shown up.
Our relief, our bullpen as a whole is just booty cheeks. Like we'll score. There's a couple games we scored 5-6 runs in the first 2 innings and we lose. We have no relief core at all. I'd honestly rather have Jorge Lopez last year because he's better than our entire bullpen, and he was god awful last year. Sorry, but like our hitters aren't bad. Burger, Jazz,
He's not the only guy that's done
Luis
something.
Arraez, Tim Anderson's garbage, Bethancourt, Fortes. I mean, Sanchez, but I mean, our hitters aren't. I don't think are the issue because there's some games we're putting up 5-6 runs, and our pitchers are just we'll give up 9, we'll lose. We have we'll have a 5-0 lead in like the 8th inning. I'm like, we're not safe. We're probably gonna lose.
Braves.
Well,
two things.
But
Sixto touched 95 the other day. That was crazy. I didn't think he could touch 90 anymore. Don't you dare talk about Jorge Lopez. He's a great man. I'm the king of the AI.
What are you even doing? I don't know. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We just need to have a segment with Cale just going through the AI.
I gotta figure it out.
Whatever you call it.
No, where's the fireworks?
Stubby thumbs.
Oh man. Yeah. How'd you do the fireworks? Was it 2 thumbs up?
No, it was like this.
No, it was like this, and then I went.
I guess you lost the fireworks.
Man, hold on, let me figure this out.
They're gone. Anyways,
I hate my life.
I think in years past, because the Marlins have done a really good job of developing pitching or trading for it.
Yep.
Like, I mean, you look at Sandy, you look at Yuri, you look at like Luzardo, like the majority of that is homegrown talent or guys they traded for when they were prospect.
Our pitching has always been something that we leaned on.
Yeah, consistently over the past few years, they've been, I mean, the nickname was the fish with arms a couple years ago when they made the playoffs.
Zach Gallen. I know I got
so
traded.
like,
but
consistently, they just haven't had a big lineup, unless you go back to the Stanton, Yelich days. Like, those days they had a great lineup, but they just really haven't had a full lineup over the past few years. This year they're hitting pretty well so far, but I mean, just in my opinion, The last few years they haven't.
And
We
let's
have
be
a better
honest,
lineup
a
and
lot of
pitching staff.
they're just. I mean, there's so many injuries in that rotation right now. Ayuri, Sandy, like they're just going through it right now.
Yeah. It's hard when you lose a Cy Young winner to injury to be competitive. But I don't know. It's a week into the season. Don't need to freak out. They'll probably finish
Unless you're
last
me
in the
and you
division.
realize
It's
that
okay.
you're going to come in last
Nah,
every single
I'm
week.
freaking out. Yeah, an
freak out.
update. Josh
Braves
Hader
stink.
sucks.
Lost run Washington.
I mean, we're
Marlins
only
in shambles.
8,
Nothing's
6-2,
going right.
whatever. But
Well, since we're talking about Josh Hader, how about we get into our fantasy highlights of the week? I feel like this is going to be a segment that we do every week.
Thank you.
We are going to be doing I guess you can say winner for your league as far as pitching, and then winner for your league as far as hitting, kind of like the MVPs, I guess you can call them as well. For
Player
this
of the
week, player of the week, whatever you want to call it, or fantasy player of the week. How about that? FPOY. Let's call it that, I guess.
sheesh.
Trademark.
FPO.
F-Poi.
Yeah, FPOY. Who's our FPOY of the week?
That's kind of fire.
Anyways, so who's our FPOY of the week for pitching?
Gotta go
One
Blanco.
answer.
Yeah, you gotta go Blanco.
Gotta go.
You went.
And
James,
no one
I
picked
mean-
him up.
James, what's
somebody
his first
did today.
name?
Jose.
Lionel Blanco.
Yeah, couldn't tell you what his first name was.
Fantasy pitcher.
I
of
looked
the
at it
week.
and I was like, I'm not even going to announce it. Because I know I'm going to mispronounce it.
Ronell.
Blanco.
Lionel Lopez.
So obviously he had the no hitter. Who was it against?
It was against
Toronto.
Toronto. Yeah. So Toronto got no hit and then one hit by the Astros back-to-back nights. But that was only his 5th career start. I believe I read a stat. 8th?
Yeah.
His 8th.
Okay, sorry, 8th. So potato. He looked good, looked nasty. But yeah. So he's our FPOY pitcher of the week. But anybody else got anything to say about that?
Garrett Crochet played good. I'll give Thomas his.
Yeah, I
wanted
just
to draft
forgot he
him,
threw a
but-
no-hitter. It's fine. Whatever. We'll get into it in waiver wires.
Definitely not
105 points.
Spencer Strider.
From one game is pretty good. And during the game that is happening as we're recording this, he went in
6 innings.
through the
1
5th
hit.
inning with no hits as
He
well.
got 5 and 2/3.
5 2/3 before giving up a hit. So I'd say that's a pretty decent start to a season. Pretty average.
I think so.
So, also FPOY. What does that stand for?
Fantasy Player of the Week, you dummy.
Poi? POY?
How?
FPOTW?
I'm dyslexic.
FPOY.
I was just sitting there thinking about it. I was like,
I like F-Poi because it sounds like F-Boy.
Well, no.
F-Pow, hitter, who we got,
Pow.
Casey.
Pow! We got Mookie Betts, lead leaguer with home runs. If you count the first two, games in Korea, obviously he is definitely the fantasy player of the week. If you don't want to count those days, I honorable mention to Spencer Steer.
That's your boy.
He has gotten a lot of points this week. Looking
98.
good. 98 to be exact in our league. I mean, he plays everywhere for a fantasy perspective.
Literally.
So you can use him at any position that, especially if you have some injuries. But speaking of injuries, how about we talk about who you can pick up to replace your injured players with
like Spencer Strider?
waiver wire ads.
Cale's over there in the slums.
Cale's just going through his settings and just saying, what's next? So if you were one of the unlucky ones to draft Spencer Strider, Josh Young, Shane Bieber, Yuri
Josh
Perez, we got some guys that can be good replacements for you to pick up this week. Casey, why don't you start us off with who your waiver wire ads are, and we'll go from there.
To be honest, I have no clue.
You didn't do it.
So
This guy,
Casey.
he's the commissioner of the league and didn't
Absolute
prepare.
Bum.
I'm not even
great.
surprised.
What
This
are we
is dropping
doing?
Tuesday, right?
Yes, dropping Tuesday.
Okay. If y'all pick this guy up, I'm never talking to y'all again.
Hang on, are we talking pitchers and hitters or just one person?
Either one.
Oh yeah,
both.
good point.
Both.
Oh, both. So
I've
one
got
of each.
3, 2 pitchers and 1 hitter. So
Okay, I have one of
I
each.
only got one hitter.
give
I
me
thought we
one
were
of
done.
Thomas
do I need
started
to go
off.
first?
Since,
Good Lord.
yeah,
All
since
right.
we came prepared.
The
I'm
easy
prepared, dumbass.
pick through 3 starts in this first week and a half of fantasy is Garrett Crochet of the White Sox. Lefty throws he's basically left-handed Ben Joyce from Tennessee. Also went to Tennessee. Shout out Garrett Crochet. Through 3 starts, he's gone 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run versus Detroit on opening day. Also got 8 Ks. Against Atlanta, went 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned, 8 Ks. Got the win in that one. And then today against Kansas City, went 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned. Little worse, but still, 2 earned is not bad. With 5 Ks. This guy has been
Nasty.
fantastic. So if he is available in your league, he's a guy you want to stash. He's 73% rostered, probably after his opening day start got picked up because he's only listed as a reliever at the moment. But I knew who he was mainly from his card in MLB The Show a couple years ago because it was absolutely disgusting. And so when I saw him getting the opening day start, I said, you know what, I'm going to take a flyer on him, picked him up, and he was gross. So I hung on to him for the week. And I think I'm going to like this one. Hopefully he will get out of Chicago at some point this season and get traded because of those 3 starts that are very good starts, he has won 1 of them. So
yeah, I'll take it.
no runs. Literally, okay, his opening day start went 6 innings, 1 earned run, lost. Got the loss.
Don't give up a run.
So get this man out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
know
my
my
first
my
I know
two
my
guys.
guy.
No, I'm
I know my
going
guy.
before you came. No, I already knew. I'm second.
Fair.
I came prepared. So
Go
my
So did I.
pitcher is Mr. Reed Detmers. The dude is only 38% rostered. Again, same thing with Thomas. He's on the Angels, so not a lot of run support there. But last 2 weeks, he's gotten 55 points. He's 33rd season rank. Like I said, 38% rostered, so he's probably available in more than half of the leagues. So I think he's
30%.
Hey, I'm just dumbing it down for everyone. But I think he would be maybe even not even a streamer. Maybe you hold him for a little bit.
Yeah.
But a hitter, this is kind of a shot. But since he just had a phenomenal 2 weeks to start the year, I'm going to go Michael Conforto. The man is 68% rostered. Yeah, I know. I'm a dog. I came prepared. Y'all can kick rocks. 68% rostered, 83 fan points, and a 4
If
season
you pick
rank.
him up, I'm burning your shoes, all of them.
That's so weird.
I couldn't say
Burn my
burn
house down.
I can't. I love Jack.
But no, I'm waking up at 2:57 to grab him right in front of you. I'll see you there.
I've got 3 slots available. I don't have to drop anybody.
Casey and
All right,
Cale got
Cale,
so
yours.
upset that they looked at the
I had to
3rd
pick
ranked
up-
player in
I had to
fantasy
pick up-
and said, "Oh, he's my pick."
I had to pick up. Okay, Garrett Crochet. Never heard of him before. Oh, he only throws 102 from the left side.
I only know him from MLB The Show.
The show. I'm a nerd.
Listen,
I don't watch
listen.
baseball. Nope, my 2 guys. And the reason I was going to pick one of them, but I couldn't.
Because I'm a dog.
One, Mason Miller. He's I know he plays for Athletics.
Yeah.
But the dude throws 102. He's disgusting. He's probably not going to get you any wins. And if your commissioners are jackwagon and make strikeouts 1 point, maybe not be worth it. But
Shout out Casey.
and
It's
then
like
another guy that's because he plays for the team, is Shamania. I like Shamania. I think he's a great pickup.
Trash.
All right, Michael Conforto.
Oh, it said you were me.
And my hitter, Yainer Diaz, catcher for the Astros.
First base.
I like it.
Plays catcher almost every time. Sure, Yahoo
He's listed as first base.
Yahoo said Strider was scoring 1,000 points this year. Look at him now. Yahoo knows everything, apparently. That's why you suck.
All right, Case, close this out.
Hold on. Yainer is not a pickup. He's 96% roster. Never mind. Let's go on, Casey.
Say, what are we doing? Yeah, pick him up if you're in a 2-man league. Good lord.
Literally. If you're one of the 4% that don't have him rostered,
fine. Eugenio Suarez.
Who?
What is he? 94% rostered?
58.
Who?
Okay.
Eugenio?
Eugenio Suarez. Why?
Oh, shocker. James and Thomas don't know who he is.
No,
you
you're like,
I couldn't hear you, genius.
You were like.
speak English.
That's what your
No,
mom
don't say
sound
it.
like.
All right, Case, close this out. Oh,
I only have one guy.
Two more.
I haven't even looked at any hitters because
Shocker.
I drafted straight hitters. So my pitcher of the week, who I actually picked up this week, but he is only 63% rostered, has a strong start to this season, is Brady Singer. I think the Royals are a little sneaky. At the moment, he has a .68 ERA with 14 Ks and only 2 walks through 13.1 innings this season. He had two really good starts against 2 lesser teams. First game was against the Twins. He went 7 innings. The second game was against the White Sox. He went 6.1. He has probably his first success of the season against the Astros coming up this week. But I mean, he's got a hot hand. Would it be too bad to roll with him? I know I am this week for at least the first part of the week. But yeah, another guy from that team is Mike Waka as well. I don't really know his percentage of roster, but I know he put in a fantastic line yesterday.
56%.
Yeah, he's another guy that could be picked up. So
a little over half of the teams. If you might be able to pick them up if you're only half of the teams.
Okay, I like it. I got 2 more. I got 1 more pitcher and 1 more hitter. I'll go hitter first. Our league doesn't have catchers, but Luis Campusano of the San Diego Padres has had a decent start to the year. He's 13 for 36, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, 3 doubles, not triples. The big thing to note from him, in 36 at bats, he has 1 strikeout.
Wow,
which is huge. So he's not going to lose you points. So you can put him in your lineup, and hopefully he's going to get you points most every day. So that was just something I saw, and I was like, that is super valuable, especially for just an everyday slot. You can throw a guy in to your utility slot, catcher slot, wherever he is. But I like him. I think the Padres are going to get going eventually, along with the rest of the NL West, but we'll see. My pitcher is one of the top prospects from the Pirates who made the opening day roster, Jared Jones. 56% rostered. I think Campusano was like 60-something. So, but 56% rostered. He throws around 100, give or take a couple here and there. He's kind of a sneaky pickup because he's on the Pirates, and they're kind of a background team until they're opening the season 8-2. So
for
whatever.
sure.
But in his first 2 starts, had 10 strikeouts against the Marlins, not bad. And then went and faced Baltimore, had 7 strikeouts, 2 earned. So I mean, through 2 starts, he's been consistently good. Scored me 38 points in fantasy, but big strikeout potential, throws over 100, has some good breaking ball stuff. So I really like him as a great pickup. He's 56% rostered. Sorry to our league because I got him. But if you're looking for some pitching, if you lost Strider, this guy might be a perfect replacement. So especially if the Pirates can stay good and score some runs. So
they won't.
We'll see how that goes. That's my last pick.
Yeah, maybe if I can lose 200
they have
pounds.
our boy Shelton over there, James.
They do.
Maybe if I lose 200 pounds, I can find a girlfriend.
Shout out to Derek Shelton.
Shout out to D Money. Maybe we'll have him on the pod soon.
Yeah. That's our new special guest.
Pitch Grips.
Stay tuned.
Shout out Pitch Grips. Stay tuned.
Always.
Ooh, we'll say. Let's take a pause. A little sidebar.
Little pause.
Couple housekeeping notes. So we did not have a podcast from the draft weekend. However, we played 3 rounds of golf over a span of 3 days. So we all were sore, but I'm still sore.
Can't pull fat.
But we did get some footage from one of the rounds, and currently I'm working on a vlog style-ish video.
Little documentary.
Put together.
June 27th.
Something
will be coming out.
We'll see.
2027.
I will say, I'm about 15 minutes into the video, and I'm on hole 3. So it might be a long one, but
wow,
I'm gonna try
play?
speed up the editing. We played 18
How many
holes.
do we play?
Well, about 5 minutes was Casey complaining about the pin on hole 2. So, but that'll be coming out. Shout out to Pitch Grips for helping us do a giveaway. If you haven't entered, go enter, tag your friends, share it. If we never reach 500 subscribers, maybe we'll just send out the grips to someone. But
let's make it to 100. 100.
Make it to 100. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. But
105.
105. We'll see. Did you guys have anything else from opening week? Anything stick out? Anything you want to talk about?
MLB stinks. Jersey stinks.
Too.
Rolls stink. My fantasy team stinks.
Acuna
The Atlanta Braves, though. The Braves, brother, do not stink.
Are good after the 8th inning.
Best lineup in the league. Top to bottom.
Ozuna for the Braves.
MVP.
Casey will trade him even though he hates the Braves.
Allegedly. We'll see. I still think my best pick is Suzuki.
No, he'll die off.
Or Ketel Marte.
Ketel Marte, I hate you.
Ketel Marte, yeah. That was
only in the first inning when he plays the Braves.
That's true. 2 for 2 with a nuke and a double.
Casey took Ketel Marte the round I was going to take him, so I had to get C.J. Abrams, who's
not bad.
He's been pretty decent actually. He was one of my sells for the year. I was
Ricky
not
Henderson
a big fan
this year,
of him.
apparently.
Stolen 3 bags already. He's batting 300, or 333 at the moment.
Yeah,
he's already got 2 bombs and 5 RBIs. So maybe he's fully developed now. We'll see.
Look out.
Well, if that's all we got, want to say thank you guys for listening. Go use code Sunday on pitchgrips.com for 10% off your order. Get yourself some new grips for your golf clubs. Won't change the baseball slice, but you'll look good doing it. That's all that matters. So appreciate you guys for listening. Tune in next week. Follow us on Instagram, everywhere you got to go.
Love you.
For your
Bye.
fantasy baseball and Major League Baseball news. We'll be back next week. Hopefully. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah.
Man,
love you. Bye.